You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Please make sure you have subscribed to our channel for new story. Story title, Jorinda and Joringel. Long ago, in a dense forest filled with whispers of ancient tales, stood a castle veiled in shadows. This castle was home to an old witch who roamed the skies as an owl by day and prowled the grounds as a cat by dusk, only to become her true self at night. Her magic was fearsome, casting spells that could freeze a young man in his tracks or transform a beautiful maiden into a bird, trapping her in a cage within the castle walls. It was said that 700 cages hung in her room, each holding a maiden turned bird, their beauty locked away. In this forest lived a shepherd boy named Joringel and a maiden named Jorinda, whose beauty surpassed the vivid blossoms of spring. Their love was a beacon of hope in the shadowed wood, and their wedding was to be celebrated with the coming of the next full moon. One evening, seeking solace in each other's company away from prying eyes, they wandered into the forest. As they walked, they stumbled upon the accursed castle. Joringel warned Jorinda of the peril, but the enchanting beauty of the setting sun and the melancholic cooing of doves overhead captivated their senses, leading them astray. As they sat watching the sun dip below the horizon, a sense of foreboding enveloped them. Lost in the forest and with night approaching, they found themselves near the castle's ancient walls. Jorinda began to sing a sorrowful tune about lost love, which abruptly ceased as she was transformed into a nightingale by the witch's spell. The witch, appearing as a fiery-eyed owl, circled them, casting a spell that rooted Joringel to the spot, unable to move or cry out as darkness swallowed the forest. Joringel, heartbroken, watched helplessly as Jorinda, now Nightingale, was captured by the witch. The witch then confronted Joringel, declaring he would never see Jorinda again before vanishing into the night. With dawn, Joringel found himself released from the spell but shattered by the loss of his love. He wandered aimlessly until finding work at a distant farm, his thoughts always on Jorinda and the cursed castle. One night, a dream revealed to Joringel a vision of hope, a beautiful flower, unlike any other, with petals of deep purple and a heart shining like a pearl. This flower, the dream whispered, held the power to break any curse. With newfound resolve, Joringel embarked on a quest to find this mystical bloom, searching through valleys and over mountains, driven by love and the promise of reunion. On the 9th day of his quest, as the first light of dawn pierced the veil of night, Joringel discovered the flower. It was exactly as in his dream, radiant and shimmering with a dewdrop at its center, glowing like a precious gem. With the flower carefully cradled in his hands, he journeyed back to the castle, the symbol of his hope and love. Approaching the castle, Joringel found that the witch's spell could not hold him. He touched the flower to the gate, which swung open as if welcoming him. Inside, he was met with the chorus of countless birds, their songs a tapestry of longing and despair. He found the room with the 700 cages, the witch raging in his intrusion. Yet, as she lunged at him, she was stopped by an invisible force. The power of the flower protected Joringel. Scanning the cages, Joringel was overwhelmed. How could he find Jorinda among so many? As the witch attempted to flee with the cage, Joringel, guided by an unseen force, touched it with the flower. Instantly, the nightingale transformed back into Jorinda, her beauty and spirit unmarred by the witch's spell. Embraced in a moment of joy and disbelief, they knew their love had overcome the darkness. With Jorinda by his side, Joringel turned the flower towards the remaining cages. One by one, the birds transformed back into maidens, each thanking them for the gift of freedom. The witch, her power broken, vanished into the ether. Her reign of terror ended. Joringel and Jorinda bid farewell to the maidens, each going their separate ways, their hearts filled with gratitude and joy. Returning to their village, Joringel and Jorinda were welcomed as heroes. Their love, tested by darkness and despair, had emerged stronger and more radiant than ever. They married under the canopy of the very forest that had once held them captive, their union a testament to the enduring power of love and the courage to face the darkness. Together, they rebuilt the castle, transforming it from a place of fear and sorrow into a haven of hope and joy, a sanctuary for all who sought refuge from the storms of life. In the years that followed, Jorinda and Joringel became the guardians of the forest, protectors of the innocent and the lost. The story of their courage, love, and triumph over evil was passed down through generations, a beacon of light in the darkest of times. And so, in a world where shadows loom, their tale remained a shining example of the power of love to conquer all, of the strength found in unity, and of the magic that exists within every heart brave enough to fight for what is right. Jorinda and Joringel's love story, born from a curse and blossomed into legend, continued to inspire hope and courage, ensuring that the light they brought into the world would never fade. If you like this story, please give this video a like and comment below with your thoughts. See you in the next story.